Happy Saturday, guys. So if you are joining me, my name is Kris, and this is my channel on social. And today I am hosting the Power Hour. I am going live for 1 hour because I am prepping the Pattern Emporium Be Mine Blouse. So I've got the pattern in front of me. This is what it looks like. This is the back top piece, and I've already started making my fitting adjustments. And I have started with a 1/2 inch sloping shoulder adjustment. Now, I have never made a Pattern Emporium pattern, you guys. And I am already doing some preliminary adjustments based on the measurements and just kind of going off vibes and instinct, to be honest. I'm going to give it a try and see how it comes through. Hopefully it works out well. But if it doesn't, it's just sewing. It's just fabric. I can always try again or move on to something else. So thank you guys so much for joining me. This is just going to be like a chill, laid back hour. You guys can talk to me. I am going to talk to you. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments so I can respond. Particularly if they are fitting questions, I'm always here to help. I do not profess to be an expert or a guru, but I do take a keen interest in trying to get the right fit. So if you are here with me today, thank you so much for joining. And tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, just let's hang out and prep this pattern together. Yeah, so I've done my 1/2 inch sloping shoulder adjustment on my back piece, and I need to do the same adjustment on my front bodice. So what I haven't said is that I have printed off 2 different sizes. The pattern does allow for nested sizing, and I have printed off the sizes 14 and 16. I've read the instructions in their booklet about how to choose the right size. The 14 is my high bust size, and the 16 is closest to my full bust size. So what I'm planning to do is I am going to blend between the 14 and the 16. I'm going to do the 14 at the neckline, the arm side, and the shoulders as usual. And then I'm going to grade out to the size 16. Now, I actually haven't checked what the seam allowance is on this pattern. I'm hoping that it's at least 1/2 inch, because that will give me some wiggle room to sort of base my pattern together and then try it on, since I'm not making a muslin and since I've never sewn with a Pattern Emporium pattern before. But I have gotten so lazy, oh my goodness, in my sewing. When I first started sewing, I was toiling everything. As simple as the pattern was, I was going to make it up using some muslin first. I've graduated from that, thankfully. But there are still times when I will go ahead and do that. Today's not one of those days. So I'm just going to wing it and pray and hope for the right. So as I said, I'm doing my 1/2 inch sloping shoulder adjustment. I do have sloping shoulders. I have terrible posture, and it shows in my clothing. So if you have ever discovered that when you fit your sewing patterns, they sort of pull away from your shoulder like this and feel tight under the armpit, then you might want to consider this adjustment. It's really, really easy to do. So what I have done, oh my goodness, this light and this white paper. I'm not even sure if you guys can see. Can you see? Maybe if I tilt it a little bit. I don't know. I think I have a video here on the channel showing me, showing you guys how I did this adjustment. But basically, you're going to use the arm side section of your pattern. You're going to draw a right angle from the shoulder down to maybe about 1 inch or 2 inches below your underarm seam. And then you're going to draw a second line, however much you need to make your adjustment. Mine is 1/2 inch. You might only need 1/4 inch. You might need more. And then you're going to just shift the entire arm side down. Once you have done that, you're going to have to go in and blend your shoulder seam and your side seams, but it does help correct the fit right here at the shoulder point. Now, you might be the converse. You might have square shoulders. And if you do, then you need to do the opposite of what I just said. You want to go the opposite direction. You want to shift your shoulders upwards to fix your pattern on your body as opposed to shifting it down. I'm really hoping that makes sense. It's a little bit difficult to explain it to you guys when I can't actually show you. I've only got my phone at the moment. I haven't quite figured out, you guys, how this live streaming thing works. When I'm ready recording it, it's easy for me to like show you guys what I'm doing on the paper. In this forum, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. To be quite frank with you, I have no idea what I'm doing. So please bear with me as I make these adjustments. Right, so my sloping shoulder adjustment has been done. I typically have to shorten the waistline of my patterns because your girl has short waist problems. It means that the distance from my, what is this called? My shoulder to my waistline is pretty short comparative to the rest of my body. And that means I typically have to raise my patterns up by 1/2 inch. Now, this particular pattern just has like an A-line type side seam. And so it doesn't make any sense to me to shorten it unless I want to shorten the entire length of this blouse. I do not want to do that. This pattern actually comes with 2 length options. There's a regular length and then there's a tall length. And even though I think I'm tall, you guys, because I am 5'8.5" inches, I'm not that tall. And I don't like my blouses too long. I do carry most of my length in my legs. So I am going to cut it off at the regular length in terms of the blouse end. That's what I'm going to do. Now, in case you're just joining me, I am talking about the Pattern Emporium Be Mine Blouse. I've never sewn a Pattern Emporium pattern before, but I have promised my YouTube subscribers that I'm going to try and do more PDF patterns, more indie patterns, and more patterns that are more size inclusive. So talking about size inclusive, I do have a video coming right here tomorrow, and I am actually going to be comparing 5 of the big 5 patterns and giving dupes for the plus size community from the indie patterns. So 5 of the big 5 as compared to the indie patterns, but the indie patterns are going to be size inclusive. So I'm hoping that you guys enjoy that. I actually had the recommendation from my girl Yvette. She was like, maybe you can try to be a little bit more inclusive to the entire sewing community. And I hadn't realized, hey Aisha, oh my God, thank you girl for joining. Oh, I feel so good that you are here. Right, so what I'm saying is I want to try to be a little bit more inclusive. No, I found it to be a big risk because I'm a Black girl and I don't like people telling me how to be Black. Like, if you're not Black, don't tell me how to be Black. And I thought, how am I going to talk to plus size sewers about plus size patterns when I am myself a mid-size sewer? Notwithstanding, I have taken the risk. Hey, Julian, thank you very much for joining me. I have taken the risk, and that video goes live tomorrow. So if you're just joining me, I am talking about the Pattern Emporium balloon, not the balloon, Be Mine Blouse. It is actually currently on sale, you guys, for Mother's Day. I think it's 20 or 25% off. And I didn't show you guys my fabric. I am considering using this fabric. She's a beauty. I freaking love this fabric. I got this fabric from Mood. But I know she's going to be an itch to work with because can you see how light and floaty and drapey this fabric is? But she is gorgeous. And I just feel like this will make for a lovely blouse. And I've only got 2 yards anyway, or 2.5 yards. So my size requires me to do, I think it's 2 yards, 1 1/8. No, whatever. Almost 2 yards of fabric. And so I'm considering this fabric. What do you guys think about this fabric? It's going to need a lot of spray starch. And the next one I'm thinking about is this one. You guys can't even see this damn white fabric because of my light. Anyway, it is a burnout fabric, so it has like darker white stripes and then a burnout stripes. And I've only got 2 yards of this one. It's going to be difficult to see. Let me see if I can lock off my light so you guys can see. Can you see the detail of this fabric? Right. Again, this is going to be a real itch to work with. She is light and floaty. And I think she might be like, what is this called, boy? I don't remember what the substrate is, but I think this will make for a gorgeous top. Right. Back to regular programming. So I am making some fitting adjustments. If you have been here before, or if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I'm pretty anal when it comes to fit. I like to take the time to make the adjustments. I don't always get it right, but your girl sure is gonna try. So that is what I'm gonna be doing for Power Hour today. 1 hour in and out on YouTube Live. Thanks, Aisha. I really do like that fabric. That floral fabric is divine, and it does have like some striping in it. So that means I'm gonna have to try and pattern match it. That is gonna be another frustration, but I think it's gonna be worthwhile. Now I haven't figured out like how to do all the tricky bits here on StreamYard, like to pin up the line drawings of this pattern. I don't know what I'm doing. I told you guys I have no idea what I'm doing. So I've already made my 1/2 inch sloping shoulder adjustment. And the next adjustment that I'm about to do is I'm going to remove a 1/4 inch in length between the shoulder line and the bust line on my pattern front piece only. And that is because I also have forward rotated shoulders. And if I don't do that, then everything feels like it's choking me. It's just too long in my front bodice. And so I have found by trial and error over the years that if I go in, let me lock off the light again. If I go in and I remove a 1/4 inch in length from right below the neckline, but between the shoulder and the bust point, and reduce the length right here of the front bodice, then it will fit me much, much better. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. It is a simple adjustment, you guys. It really is. It's just a matter of the same way you will lengthen or shorten your pattern pieces everywhere else. You're gonna go ahead and do the very same thing, but you're moving it higher up, because shortening my pattern down below my waistline or at my waistline is not going to address this extra length between my shoulder and my bust line. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that. Whilst I'm doing that, I do want to talk to you guys about the Pattern Hackathon. I have been having nightmares about Pattern Hackathon this year. I have hosted it for 2 years. The first year was good, but I think the second year was better. I think people had started catching on to the vibe of the hackathon in year 2. But because Instagram keeps changing, I did find it a little bit difficult to keep up with the entries. Now, if people are going to enter my challenge, I think that I need to be able to see the entries. Like, otherwise, what's the point, right? And so I don't know how best to craft the hackathon this year to make sure that it's very inclusive, and also to make sure that whatever it is the entries are, that I can see them. Like before time, you would put them all under a hashtag and like it was easy. But we didn't find it to be that easy last year. And so if you guys have any ideas at all, time is ticking. I need to get my shit sorted because I need to get myself some ambassadors. Because I mean, I can't do it without ambassadors, but sewing community is not about me. I am not community. I am one person. So I want members of the community to be involved. So I'm hoping, I did put a call out in my Instagram stories that some folk will indicate that they're interested. And if they are interested, then I can move in that direction, having the ambassadors. If not, I'm gonna have to figure something else out because I feel like it is a good challenge. And I'm not just saying that because it was my idea. I like the idea of celebrating the patterns that we have. I don't know about you guys, but I overconsume shit. I have way too many patterns, and some of them are like easily hackable. Like if something like changing the sleeve length or turning a top into a dress, like that ain't hard, right? And I will quickly go and buy a pattern, or many people in the community will go and buy a pattern, before they take the extra minutes to hack it, put your own touch on it, put your own spin on it, show up with that pattern, but make it really yours. And I'm really into that vibe, you guys. And carrying on from that line of thinking, you may have seen, right, Aisha, what I'm talking about is a pattern hackathon challenge. So I've hosted it for 2 years. I want to host it again this year, but I'm having some serious nightmares about it. I feel like, how can I top last year? How can I get my community involved? Because I'm not a community girl. I'm just one person, and I want other people to be enthusiastic as I am. And so I have posted like a little call out in my Instagram stories, just asking if anybody would be interested in being an ambassador. It's not paid. I don't got money like that. Unfortunately, I really, really wish I did. And when I ask the companies like for prizes, it's really for those people who have participated. And so I'm trying to figure out how best I can do the pattern hackathon again this year. So as I was saying, I'm open to any suggestions. If you guys have ideas, my girl Amina reached out to me and she's like, "Ooh, I'm in. Just let me know what you need." And that moved me in the right direction. So I'm hoping some other people will come through. It doesn't have to be complex. It can be simple. Once it's a hack, it's a hack. Right, so I'm moving on to my next adjustment. And the third adjustment that I'm going to do is I'm going to make a sway back adjustment. So I have a dip in my center back, and I feel like a lot of folks do, especially if you're a black folk. Your back curves in, so your booty comes out. It is what it is. And that means that, and I don't even have a lot of booty, but I do have to do a sway back adjustment. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove a 1/4 inch in length from the length of my back bodice piece between the neckline and the small of my back. So I've measured down, I think it's like 11 or 12 inches for mine. I am just going to eyeball it. Ooh, I've got it at 12.5 inches. I'll work with that. And this is my back piece only. And I am putting the line right across the back piece. And it's similar to when you lengthen or shorten a pattern, but I'm only going to move it up a 1/4 inch at the center back and then blend out to nothing at the side seam. So I'm going to have like an angle, like it's almost like a sideways dot I'm taking out of my back bodice. Let me see what Aisha's saying. Yay! Woo, 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 woo. Thank you, Aisha. Yeah, I'll let you know the details. I'm still trying to iron it out at the moment. I just want to see who's interested. So thank you so much, girls. So I've got a whopping 2 folks who are interested in being ambassadors for the challenge. So if anybody else wants to step up, just shout out and just let me know. As I said, community is important to me. I live on this bloody island all by myself. I don't have no sewing friends on this island. It's not really a thing in these parts to like sew as a hobby. And I don't know anybody else who does. I did have one friend who did, and she was the one who encouraged me to start sewing, and then she dropped off and decided she wanted to do other things. And that's cool. But that means that I am literally all on this island by myself. So building a sewing community is important. It is really important to me. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for stopping by. I know it's Saturday afternoon. You guys have, I'm sure, lots of other things that you can be doing. But you've chosen to spend some time with me. So if it's 5 minutes or if it's the whole of the power hour, then I am so thankful that you have showed up and I'm not here talking to myself, because that would be hella embarrassing. Oh my gosh. So thank you guys so much for that. Right, so I have done my sway back adjustment. Let's lock off this slide again. And I have gone ahead and removed just a 1/4 inch right here. And it's tapered out to nothing at my side seam. So that means the portion below my sway back adjustment down here, it has swung out. So my center back seam is no longer going to be on grain. It's no longer going to be able to cut it on the fold. Now this one does have a center back seam, so I can probably leave it as is. But I am going to go ahead and correct it. And to correct it, I'm just going to follow the grain line right the way down to the hemline. That will mean I will lose maybe about a 1/4 inch or a 3/8 of an inch in width at my hemline. And if I wanted to, I would go back in and tack it in at the side seam, whatever it is. If it's a 1/4 inch, I'll just tack it back in at the side seam and blend it out. But because of the style of this blouse, I can lose a 1/2 inch at my circumference. And this pattern adjustment is only on your back pattern piece. You're not going to do a sway back adjustment on your front bodies for obvious reasons. Your front is not your back. So you are only going to do this particular adjustment on your back pattern piece. The same thing with the forward shoulder adjustment that I spoke of earlier. That one is only done on the front bodice piece because we're talking about forward. So we're talking about the front pieces. Girl, you could come through. I would love people to come and visit this tiny island. It is very, very quiet almost all year round. It has like, I think on the last census, it was like 4,000 folks who live on this island. But during March for St. Patrick's, this island ramps up. I tell you, we get visitors galore. St. Patrick's is a big deal here. There's lots of fetting and partying, lots of historical things going on. And the island really comes alive. Me personally, I'm like, oh my gosh, can these people just go? Because the streets get actually very, very busy. The food in the supermarket, I'm like, why do we have bare shelves? Because we have extra visitors to this island. So I'm always encouraging people to come visit, or at the very least, to Google us. See where we're at, what we're about. Yeah. Right, so I've done a 1/2 inch sloping shoulder adjustment for my sloping shoulders. I have done a 1/4 inch forward shoulder adjustment for my forward rotated shoulders. And I have done a 1/4 inch sway back adjustment for my sway back. I'm thinking that those are the adjustments that I need to do on this pattern. Again, I haven't toiled it, you guys. I am winging it. I'm going by a prayer and vibes on this pattern. Based on my reading, they have done full bust adjustments. So they actually have 3 front pieces. They have a standard bust, then they have a what they call 1 FBA and then a 2 FBA. So if you're one size above the high bust measurement, they have provided you with an FBA, and they've done the same thing if you were 2 sizes above. So if you guys usually need an FBA, full bust adjustment, for those of you who might not know, this pattern is going to save you a little extra time because you don't have to do it. If they had not done it, I would have been going ahead with a full bust adjustment. The pattern also has 3 different necklines, something higher and something lower. And you guys know I'm already going for something that is lower so I can show some skin because I'm hot. Listen, I am sweating in front of this slide, I tell you. So I am going to do the lower neckline. If you are just coming in, thank you guys so much for spending time with me. This is Power Hour. I am doing 1 hour here on YouTube Live. I don't go live very often. I usually just like pre-record and post my videos. But I feel like trying something new. And I have been really inspired by Black Sewing Network. These girls go live every single week. I don't know how they do it. With my lifestyle, whoo, and 2 kids and a husband, whoa. Finding the time when the house is quiet to go live, it doesn't come very often. Luckily today, my husband was like, he's taking my kids out. I'm like, woo, free time. Let me go live. So it was very spontaneous. So if you guys are here, I didn't even plan it, and you guys are here. So thank you for showing up. Hey, April girl, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Welcome to Power Hour. I am doing 1 hour of prep work. As a matter of fact, I don't even need a full hour, you guys, because I'm almost done my prep. So for those of you who are hesitant about prepping patterns, like why? Like, why do you guys not adjust your patterns? Like, sound off in the comments because I really need to know. Is it a matter of time? Is it a matter of experience? Do you think it's going to take way too long? Is it that you don't know what you're doing or where to start? I'm really curious to know because patterns usually don't fit me right out of the packet. Very, very rarely do I find a pattern. I'm like, what? It fits me real good. I know that happens to some of you. And I know others of you just don't care. It's like, whatever. I sewed it. I love it. I'm a rock it. It doesn't have to fit me perfectly. That's fine as well. But I am curious. So sound off in the comments and let me know. Those of you who do not adjust your pattern pieces, is there a particular reason why? And if you do adjust your pattern pieces, share that with me as well. Now, since I'm asking questions, let me just go and find out, is anybody sewing this afternoon? Are you guys sewing? Is anybody sewing anything at all? I know some people are just joining, so I'm just going to show the fabric one more time. This is fabric option number 1 for my blouse. And then fabric option number 2. It does not look like much with the light on. But with the light off, can you see the striped burnout detail? So I would like you guys also to come on and let me know, what do you think about my fabric choices? Now, I haven't figured out, as I said, how to put the line drawing things on this bloody thing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. I want to do it, but I don't know how to do it. Oh my gosh, when you're a newbie, I'm gonna have to go read it and figure it out. It would have been nice for you guys to see the line drawing so you can kind of visualize what this blouse is gonna look like. But next time, I'll have it right next time, you guys. What are you sewing, April? For real? What? Why did you have to pause on bluegrass? No, I want to talk about bluegrass because I am a Love Notions ambassador. So if you have questions about bluegrass, wait. I'm pretty sure I've seen you. Like, why did you pause on bluegrass? What's going on? Girl, I love that you are doing this walking challenge, and I'm waiting for you to release this 2.0 because I didn't do 1.0 because I was on holiday. And I really should have been doing more walking, but I was doing more eating. So I need to remedy this situation real quick. So I am waiting. I saw you posted out about having 2.0, and I'm waiting to see what 2.0 is going to be about because I need to lose some weight. And I need to lose some weight for me because I don't feel comfortable in my own skin. So I'm happy that you are walking and watching. We are multitasking, and I'm completely here for it. Right, so Cindy says she is 5'2" and has to shorten every pattern. All right, so how do you shorten your patterns? Do you have to shorten it in one spot, or are you like me? I have to remove length between my shoulders and my bust line. Then I have to remove length between my bust line and my waistline because I do have a short torso. Comparative to the rest of me, I have most of my length in my legs. So where are you going to shorten your pattern? Do you shorten it just like at the waistline or at the hemline? Like, what is your particular situation? I am curious to know. Right, so as I'm talking, I am going to blend my sizes, as I said, and it is very simple. I'm just going to connect the size 14 at the arm side out to the size 16 at the side seam. Very, very simple to do this blending. Girl, I am doing 2.0. And I do actually enjoy walking. I used to go walking all the time with my brother, but then he left the island. He got a job somewhere else and he left me hanging. And I just haven't had the same kind of motivation to do it without him. It's not that I can't do it, it's just not fun anymore. And so I don't do it as often as I should. But it's nice to have like accountability partners. So I'm really happy that you are going to be my accountability partner. Even if not directly, indirectly, because if you're hosting a challenge, then I'm going to be, I think, more minded to stick with it because I know that somebody else kind of, is rooting for me. So I am doing 2.0. I'm going to figure it out. I am going to do 2.0. Girl, these patterns will play in your face. And it's not intentional. Obviously, I guess, pattern drafters can't draft for every single body type and shape and all of that. So it's nice to, at least know how to make your patterns fit you the way you want them to fit. Not the way anybody else wants them to fit, the way you want them to fit. And I think what got me started on my pattern fitting journey is because I have to order everything from the States or from the UK. And it's expensive. It's expensive to get shipped to me here on the island. And it takes forever. So I'm like, I cannot afford to be wasting all my fabric, sitting down, enjoying the sewing process. And then when I try it on, I'm like, nah, I don't like it. I'm not going to wear it. So I think that's what really encouraged me to figure out this pattern fitting thing. I guess for some of you, it's different because you have easy access to stuff. I don't know if that's going to change a little bit now that you guys don't have Joanne anymore. I don't know. But that is definitely what encouraged me. I couldn't. I'm just like, I can't afford it. So I took the time to learn more about my body and how to fit it. Right. Yes, April, I did see your thoughts on the bluegrass. I did, and it's nice when like pattern companies can give you a little bit of help in terms of trying to figure out the fit. Because as I said, it's just impossible. They can't really draft a pattern to suit every single body because we're not all the same. we are not all the same heights, we're not all the same weights, and more importantly, proportionally, we're not the same. We don't carry our weight in the same way, in the same places. And so it's important, I think, to learn your body and then figure out how to adjust for it. But that's just me. That is just my opinion, and my opinion is not gospel. So, yeah. If you guys are here with me today, again, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time. I know you could be doing other things. I know you could be doing more important things. But if you guys are chilling with me for this hour, then thank you, thank you, thank you. It means a lot to me. It really does. Right, about the bluegrass, I think I was talking about the bluegrass. You guys might have seen my bluegrass. That is the newest pattern from Love Notions. It is a shirt pattern. And I love this pattern. And I love this pattern because it's a shirt pattern. But I didn't quite love like the yoke situation, that kind of cowboy look. I guess it will go nicely for the whole cowboy Carter aesthetic that is going on right now. But for me personally, I'm like, that is not really my vibe. So I decided to do something different. And I added pearls all to the front of my bluegrass. I used a pearl setting machine. I had gotten it from off, what do you call that place now? Amazon. I got it on Amazon. And I was like, this is an otherwise boring fabric for me. It was a plain, like a turquoise blue, single gauze fabric. And I was like, this is not unsocial. This is boring. And I'm not boring. So I added a little bit of vibe to my shirt by just putting on the pearl embellishment. And that again demonstrates that we can make these patterns our own. Let's make these patterns belong to us. Right, I want to show you guys something real quick. I have to take my light off again. I'm also going to have to figure out the situation, how I can show you guys the paper without the light, because the light sort of blows everything out. So I have done, as I said, my sway back adjustment, and I am going to lose, can you see? Oh my God. I am going to use a 1/4 inch in width right here at my back hem, just so that I can get my back bodice back on grain. So as I said, this 1/4 inch that I'm taking off right here, I could add it back at the side seam, but I'm not going to, because for me, that extra width is not a big deal, because this pattern is like a blousey, like loose over, not oversized, but like a loose fitting pattern at the hemline. So I don't think it's going to kill me to lose a 1/2 inch. 1/4 inch times 2 equals a 1/2 inch at the back bodice in its entirety. Nothing happens to the front because this adjustment is only on the back piece. So I'm good with that. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish cutting out my back bodice. Again, that was because I did the 1/4 inch sway back adjustment to deal with the sway back, which is a dip at your center back. Right here. Right in the small of your back. If it dips inwards, what is that? Convex or concave? Whichever. One of them. If you have that dip in your back, then you might find that the length of your back bodice is too long, and then you end up with pooling fabric like this, right at your center back. And you probably can't figure out what it is. It's because you have too much length in your back bodice piece. So if that happens to you, then you might want to try this adjustment. Again, it's a very simple adjustment, but I say that sparingly because I'm accustomed to doing the adjustments. But you can find a tutorial somewhere on my channel, I'm sure. I think I did a sway back adjustment. Which one is roomy at the hem, April? Are you talking about the bluegrass, or are we talking about the Be Mine balloon top? Right, so I made the adjustments to my front and back pattern pieces. And because I have adjusted my front pattern by removing a 1/4 inch in length between my shoulders and my bust line, I need to go in and make the adjustment on my sleeve piece. Because if you do not make the adjustment on the sleeve piece, the length of your sleeve cap for your front piece is going to be a 1/4 inch too long, or however much you made the adjustment. Now, if you're working with a gathered sleeve, it doesn't matter as much because you're going to gather it in anyway and reduce the length. So you'll just have a little bit of extra gathering. But if it is like a plain set-in sleeve, like the bluegrass, first, oh, it's in the wash, then you're going to need to go ahead and do this adjustment. So this one is a balloon sleeve. It has a really wide sleeve cap. And so I'm not going to actually adjust it because it just means I'll have a little bit more gathering. But what I will need to do is I'm going to need to move the, what do you call it? The notch on the sleeve. I'm going to move it a 1/4 inch towards the front because, as I said, I reduced the length in the front and I want to make sure that my notch lines up with my new shoulder point, which is going to be a 1/4 inch more towards the front. Yeah. Yes, April, the Be Mine balloon top is, oh my God, why can't I show you guys? Like, this is annoying me, the fact that I don't know how to do it. Emporium, Be Mine. Right, let me just try and pull it up. Maybe I can just show you guys. All right. This is what it looks like. Why are we doing this? Oh my gosh. You can see who is a novice. So this is the Pattern Emporium balloon sleeve, Be Mine balloon sleeve. You can see it's like just a plain pattern. It's not going to be very complicated. Yeah, so I think it will work nicely with any of the fabrics that I suggested. Easy enough to fit, not very fussy, pretty loose, so it's not like tight fitting that you have to take the time to do like a ton of adjustments right the way down the bodice. And now that I have made the decision not to do the 1/4 inch reduction on my sleeve, I am just going to go in and blend it between the 14 and the 16, just so my balloon will be ballooning. So I can have big balloons. I like to have, if it's a balloon sleeve, I want it to be a balloon sleeve. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend out from the 14 to the 16. I need the 14 because I need it to fit my arm size. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I want to show you guys as well my second bluegrass. I was working on it because I want to do a comparison video and to show like what impact fabric choice can have on your finished garment. You sew something up in one type of fabric, it looks one type of way, and then somebody else sews it up in a different fabric and it's blowing your mind like, oh my God, I did not realize this pattern could look like that. And it's just a matter of your fabric choice. So I went ahead and made up a second bluegrass. You might have seen a kind of sneak peek on my Instagram stories last night. I was asking you guys to help me choose the buttons. Like the finishing touches on my sewing projects, I find to be difficult. I don't know if it's because I don't know if I'm indecisive or what, but when it comes to things like trying to figure out the right button, that kind of gives me some pause. Now, one adjustment as I'm cutting this out, I'm thinking that maybe I should have gone in and lengthened these sleeves. I typically have to lengthen my sleeve by 1 inch, but because this is not meant to be like a long sleeve, it's meant to be like an elbow length or just below the elbow anyway, maybe it won't bother me too much. But these sleeves remind me of McCall's, is it 7969? You know, that McCall's pattern that everybody and their mama has sewn. The sleeves on this pattern remind me of that pattern. And I think that's why I was drawn to this pattern. It's them sleeves. It's the sleeves. So I probably should have considered lengthening it, but it's not too late. But I've already cut my pattern piece out. And so I'm just gonna move as is. So again, if you guys are just joining me, I am doing fitting adjustments for the Pattern Emporium Be Mine balloon sleeve top. So far, I have done a 1/2 inch sloping shoulder adjustment. I have removed a 1/4 inch between my shoulder and my bust point for my forward shoulders. I have done a 1/4 inch straight back adjustment, and I have just shifted the notch on my sleeve piece. Now I'm gonna just take a look at the so they have hem facings for this pattern. Oh, this is gonna be nice. And they do have two different hembands, one for the regular length and one for the tall length. Even though I'm considered to be pretty tall, well, not pretty tall, but taller than average. I am doing the regular length because I am short-waisted. So I am working on this top, and it just so happens that my girl April is also working on this pattern. So if anybody else is sewing, let me know in the comment section, what are you guys working on? Again, just to remind you, I am planning to host Pattern Hackathon for the month of July. We want to celebrate everything pattern hacking. It doesn't have to be complicated, you guys. It can be something simple, like turning a blouse into a dress. Maybe you want to hack. I had seen quite a few hacks of bags lately. Renee from So Multi B, I think that's how you pronounce it, had the shamir bag wheelies, and the girlies were going crazy hacking that pattern. And it was a simple type of hack where they were just changing the sizes. So they were printing it out at bigger percentages, and that is a hack because you've changed the original design of the pattern. So we want to celebrate all things pattern hacking for the month of July. I'm still trying to figure out behind the scenes, like how the hell I'm going to get it to work, what I'm going to actually be doing. I am always open to input from the community, but at the moment, I am on the hunt for ambassadors. Your ambassadors, my ambassadors, the ambassadors, they ain't going to get paid just because I don't have coin like that. I really wish I did. I wish I could offer it like as a job, like a little stipend or something. But my exchange rate is almost 3 to 1 US dollar and almost 5 to 1 pound sterling. So I ain't got no money, but I do value community, and I'm hoping that I can get some people to jump on just to help me spread the word. No, I don't profit anything from Pattern Hackathon. It's not about making money. I don't make no money from it. I don't get any of the prizes myself because obviously I'm hosting. What else? It doesn't really grow my social media either. At least I haven't found that it has been very. It's not like it's gonna give me like 1 million followers. I've been doing it for 2 years, as I said, and my growth has been slow, and that's fine. I want to be as organic as I can be. So I'm not profiting anything from Pattern Hackathon. So if anybody's thinking, oh, I'm not going to help her because she's going to get all the glory, your girl is not. I'm going to get all the work, all the behind the scenes work. But that's cool with me because it gives us an opportunity to show each other what these patterns can become and to hype one another up. Whenever people are participating, I do like to post information about my ambassadors, expose my little community to these ambassadors, because not everybody who follows me and who I follow all of the ambassadors and vice versa. And so I think it's a good opportunity to further increase our sewing community. So that's really what it is about for me. So I would really, really appreciate if you guys would participate either as an ambassador or just participate in the actual challenge. It's going to be through the month of July. July is my birthday month, and that is what kicked it off in the first place. So I'm hoping that this year it will come through. My girl Diana has been on my tail about it because I'm like, girl, I don't know if I'm doing hackathon this year. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if I have what it takes to put the energy back into it this year. I don't know if people are receptive of it. I don't know if people will participate. Always like second guessing myself, you guys. I am always second guessing myself. I know some of you think I'm super confident. Do not be mistaken. Social media is not real life. Behind the scenes, I am sweating bullets like, oh my God. Am I even making sense? Like when I decided to go live today, it was very spontaneous. Because if I had to sit down and think about it, it wouldn't have gotten done because I would have just been like, nobody's going to show up. Everybody's busy. It's Saturday, blah, blah, blah. I would have had all of the excuses. But today, hubby was like, I'm taking the kids. And I'm like, all right, live it is. I was battling between doing a pre-recorded video and going live. And I was just like, what the heck? Let me just try. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We are 45 minutes into Power Hour. We have 15 more minutes to go. If you guys have any questions about the fitting adjustments I have shared, if you have any questions about Pattern Hackathon, let me know in the comment section so we can talk about it. So Claudia says she's working on the regalia top from Soho Southern. What is the regalia top? I'm going to have to go and regalia top. I'm Googling it, you guys. Regalia top, Soho House 7. Let me see what that pattern is. cute. That's cute. That has, is that like a yoke situation and that gather? That kind of reminds me of the Sagebrush by Friday Pattern Company, in that it has like the yoke, it has like gathers, it has puff sleeves. That is going to be cute. What fabric are you using, girl? What fabric are you using? Right, where am I now? So the next thing I need to do, I have actually finished my pattern prep, you guys. Less than an hour. So for those of you who think fitting your pattern is going to take you ages, once you have actually figured out the adjustments that you need to make, the actual pattern adjustments for the most part take very little time. And if I wasn't talking to you guys and trying to demonstrate and show you guys what I was doing, then I would have been done in way less time. And then I would have been ready to figure out the fabrics. Now I'm gonna have to go ahead and spray stitch the living lights out of this fabric. It seems like you guys like this fabric more than the white one, and I do like this fabric. It's really, really nice. But I'm going to have to spray stitch the shit out of this fabric because it is so drapey and flowy. I think it's like a chiffon, and I know it's going to make me pull my hair out. But because there are so few pieces in this pattern, I feel like I can be a big girl and try it out. I am always here for a rayon blend. I love me some rayon fabric. When I first started sewing, I'm like, how do people sew with this? It's slipping and shifting all over the place. But it just goes to show that if you keep practicing, you will get better. It's inevitable. You will get better. You will look back on your journey and be like, wow, I have come a really, really long way. So if I have any newbies in the house, if you're new to sewing, if you're not even yet sewing and you're thinking about sewing, go ahead and give it a try and just keep at it. Do not give up. It's easy for us to second guess ourselves and to give up. Start backing off and slacking off when we start comparing ourselves to other people. But your journey is your journey. My journey is my journey. And I constantly have to remind my very own self, Kris, you are not the same as everybody else. You do not have the same exposures. You do not have the same opportunities. You do not have the same experiences. So just keep doing you. Your tribe will find you. But I do second guess myself a lot. I'm being very, very honest with you guys. Too many times I self-sabotage, like, oh my God, who cares about me? I'm a small island girl. Nobody even knows where the hell I am at. But that being said, it's people like you who give me the motivation to keep sharing my journey on like social media. Because I would keep going anyway, but I would do it behind the scenes, if you understand. But knowing that I have a little small community here on YouTube and over on Instagram, it is just that little push that keeps your girl going. So I'm hoping that if you're here, you feel like you're part of my community. If you have suggestions, recommendations, I am always open. I don't know everything. I try to be as inclusive as I can be. But I'm not afraid to have like real honest conversations with folk. So if you want to talk to me about something, we can talk. I want to do me. I want to be me. I want to be my authentic self on all my platforms. And the people who resonate with me will be here for me. But as I said, it is me constantly having to remind myself, girl, you are on your own journey. Just stay the course. So thank you guys again so much for being here with me today. I need to go figure out this fabric situation. As I said, it seems like I think I'm going to do this one. But I've got like 10 minutes to spare. All my adjustments have been done. So I want to show you guys my other bluegrass. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Brooklyn in the house. Yes, ma'am. So this is my other bluegrass. And I made this using, I don't even know what fabric this is. I don't even know. I bought this in Barbados when I went last year. And I actually made the Sicily slip dress out of this fabric. And I had, because the Sicily slip dress is like a bias cut dress, I had some like awkward pieces of fabric left over. And I'm like, I wanted to make another bluegrass. And I went digging through my stash and I found it. And I'm like, what? This will make a gorgeous shirt. It does have spray starch in it. So it's a little bit stiffer here now. But once I give it a wash out, I'm sure it's going to be like a little bit more loose and floaty. So I'm just going to give it a quick try on. I did hack this pattern, you guys. It was a very simple hack in that I shortened the sleeves. And I shortened the sleeves on this one because I did not have any other choice. I did not have any other fabric. I did not have fabric to spare. So the sleeves actually are just dependent on the fabric that I had left. So this is my bluegrass. And this one is nice as well, if I can say so. The pearl one is like a moment. That one is going to be like bang on in your face. This one is probably more wearable, like everyday wearable. But this is my second bluegrass. It was a heifer to work with this fabric, but I did spray it, as I said, with spray starch. But this is what it looks like. And of course, I made fitting adjustments. And can you guys see how well it fits? Like, at least I think it fits me pretty well. So I didn't have to do a full bust adjustment because Love Notions does have two bust cup sizes, standard bust and a full bust. I have gotten away with making the standard bust and it fits my bust fine, but I did have to go ahead and lower my bust back because my girls do not sit up here anymore. I've had two kids and gravity. So they don't sit perky anymore, and that's cool. But I have figured out how to adjust my pattern to fit my girls. And so I did do a 1/2 inch lowering of the princess seam. Otherwise, the fullness of the princess seam would have been too high, and then I would have had a little bit of bagging right above my boob area, and I'm not about that. So I did lower it by 1/2 inch. I also raised the waistline by a 1/2 inch because it does have a curved waistline seam. Like there's an actual waistline demarcation, which is curved. It's going to be the smallest part because this is a fitted shirt. I also did the same 1/4 inch sway back adjustment in the back. And then I did do the adjustment on my sleeve to accommodate for the 1/4 inch forward shoulder adjustment that I did by reducing the length between my shoulder and my bust line. So I did it on the shirt front and I also did it on my sleeve. So it tilts the sleeve a 1/4 inch towards the front so that my sleeve is not like pulling towards the back in like an awkward kind of way. So this is my second bluegrass. I just have to figure out how I want to style it, but I'm pretty happy with it. Trying to hem this fabric almost took your girl out. Thank you God for, where is it? Where is it? Oh, here it is. This thing. This is Stitch Witchery. Have you guys heard of Stitch Witchery? If you have not heard of Stitch Witchery, let me tell you, get yourself some Stitch Witchery. It is a life changer. And they do have different weights. So this one is ultra light. And it was good for sticking my placket into place before I went ahead and top stitched it. Otherwise, inevitably, you're going to get that drag on your front pocket, on your front placket. So I stuck it down first, and then I went ahead and top stitched it, and I was able to do it like this. So I'm really happy with my bluegrass. I couldn't figure out the buttons, but my Instagram community came alive and voted. Although, to be honest, when I saw the results this morning, I'm like, why? Like 2 of the buttons were like neck and neck. There was like 1 vote separating them. And then a little bit of difference with the 3rd button. The 1st button was not even in the game, you guys. But the other 3, I'm like, oh my goodness. I couldn't choose. I asked for help, and it seems like you guys were a little bit indecisive as well. And so that just reminded me, it's not just difficult for you, Kris. Everybody has their own preferences and their own challenges. But I do quite like the button that I selected. And in terms of my button placement, let me just mention that I did not use the button placement guide. I never do, because obviously your boobs sit in different places. So what I did was I tried on my shirt and then I pinned it together right at the fullness, or where I thought was the fullness of my bust. And then I distributed my buttons up on the upside and on the lower side. I don't have any buttons up to my collar because it's very unlikely that I'm going to wear my shirt like this. I mean, I could wear it to the office like this, but again, it's very, very unlikely because I don't like things around my neck. I feel like I'm being strangled. So I do quite like it open. I love my bluegrass. It is currently on release sale for US $9.50. So if anybody's interested in this pattern, you can go ahead and check it out. You can use my affiliate code. It is on social. You know how it is already. UNSEWCIAL. And you can save yourself 10% off this pattern. This one was not included in the spring sale, but that sale ended yesterday. If any of you guys here supported the spring sale using my affiliate code, then thank you guys so much. I don't make a lot of money from my commissions, to be absolutely honest with you guys. I'm not breaking the bank any old how. But the little bit that I do get, it helps to sort of offset, like just trying to get me some fabric. Like getting it to the island that is a conversation for another day. Right, so we have almost made it to the end of Power Hour. And again, I feel like a freaking stuck record, but I do have to let you guys know I am so indebted to you guys for spending this hour with me here on YouTube. when you could be doing all kind of other things. And you guys took time out of your very busy and hectic schedules to come chill with me while I adjusted my Pattern Emporium Be Mine balloon sleeve top. Now, ideally, I would love to go live for another power hour and actually start sewing it up, but I don't know when that is going to happen. And I'm really itching to sew up this pattern. As I said, time in my house when the house is quiet, I don't have no kids running in upon me. Mommy, 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 interrupting me is very, very weird. So I took the opportunity today to just go ahead and do this live. And I'm hoping that I can do this a little bit more regularly. Again, I cannot commit right now, but if you keep following along on my Instagram stories, then I will always post it there, in the hopes that you guys can join me. I cannot promise you will have a lot of notice either. Today it was like no for no, but thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here with me today. Right, so that is a wrap on Power Hour. I will catch you in the next one. But in the meantime and between time, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not. I post my videos. They're meant to be Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, but I have been lapsing over the last month. I took a holiday, and that kind of just set me all over the place. But there is going to be a video tomorrow. As I said, it's going to be comparing 5 of the big 5 patterns to 5 indie patterns that are size inclusive. It's really aimed at the plus size sewing community. Even though I am a mid-size sewist, I want to be inclusive. And I did get a recommendation from my girl Yvette to try to figure out ways to incorporate the plus size community. And so that is what I'm doing. And I had to put a big old disclaimer in the video to say I did not intend to offend anybody. I hope I have my information correct. So be sure to tune in tomorrow to check that video. And please leave me a comment when you do to let me know what do you guys think of that type of video. And if you guys are anything like me, because remember I said, if you're not black, don't tell me how to be black. We can talk about anything and everything else except that. Only black girls can tell me how to be a black girl, if you get that. So I was a little bit hesitant, like, how am I going to tell other people, oh my gosh, that these patterns will work well for them because they are size inclusive, when I myself have not experienced what I am sure is very, very frustrating for my plus size community. But I am making an attempt to show up and to show out and to help other people on their sewing journeys. And I appreciate your support 100%. So with that being said, your girl is dippy out. And girl, Aisha, it is what it is, girl. It is what it is. Like, we can talk about anything else, like anything and everything else under the sun. But do not tell me how to be black if you are not black. You understand? Because our experiences are definitely going to be different. The same way, and even in the black community, there are still nuances. If you're American, if you're from the Caribbean like me, your experiences are bound to be different. So how dare anybody try to pull up and tell me how to be an island girl if you're not an island girl? How to be a black girl? So how am I going to show up with my big girl panties and tell my plus size community these are the patterns that they should be checking out? But I did do it. I did take the risk, and I am excited to see how it goes down, even though I'm a little bit nervous about it. So tune in for tomorrow's video. After tomorrow's video, I'm hoping to have one on Tuesday, and that is going to be the comparison. I hope I get that video recorded of my 2 bluegrass shirts and the difference that fabric can make in your finished product. Thereafter, anything is anything. I still owe my community my South Florida Frocktails recap. I'm just trying to get my footage together, and then I have to sit down and talk about how I felt being there, blah, 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 blah. But that is coming. So I appreciate your support once again. And until next time, I'm out.